Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sara Lubratt and today we are going to be judging famous authors' writing spaces. That includes writing rooms, writing offices, writing desks, wherever they wrote, we are judging it. Obviously I need to include the disclaimer that this is very much a personal opinion and I'm just having fun in this video because everybody is creative in a different space, and that is part of what makes the creative community so fun and interesting, is that we all work in different spaces and we all find different things very creatively motivating. But today, just for fun, we are going to be reacting to and kind of judging famous authors' writing spaces. So I did start looking at this last night to kind of try and see if there were already any pre-made lists, basically, of famous authors in their writing spaces, and this was one of the people that I came across, and I have to show it before I really get started with this video. I had to look up who Dalton Trumbo was, and apparently he's a screenwriter, but it's this image in the bathtub that like caught my attention, and I was like, you know what, that is one that I have not seen before. But then I found this article, which is called Writing Spaces Where 9 Famous Creatives Do Their Best Work, which starts right off with E.B. White, who sounded really familiar, but I did have to look him up, and he is the author of Charlotte's Web, as well as many, many other titles. But it's him sitting at a typewriter in almost what looks to be like a garage or like a boat shed or something, but with the window open, which for me is personally key. Something that I feel like I need a lot of is a window, preferably with a little bit of a view so that I can, you know, birdwatch or stare out the window and basically distract myself or be distracted by the outside world. When words are not flowing the way that they should, I know that I might actually be more productive in like a room with no windows, but that just does not sound like fun to me, so this I can get behind. And then I came across this picture of what Jane Austen used to write on, and it's this tiny little table that honestly looks like it would barely hold 2 sheets of paper side by side. And I guess you only need one, but that's honestly so impressive. Something that is probably not so good about me and my writing is that my desk can get a little bit too cluttered sometimes. Even though I try to keep it really clean, it just has a tendency to accumulate because I have space on my desk. So if I didn't have space, I might actually be able to accomplish more because there's fewer distractions. But like we've already established, I have to sit next to a window when I write for the distractions of the outside world. And then it looks like this is Mark Twain's writing space, and you can see his desk kind of in the corner facing away from a window, which I understand would help with like light and everything, but at the same time, then there's a whole bunch of stuff happening behind you, which I feel like would be more distracting if you chose to turn around and look outside, but maybe you're also more aware of when you do that and when you don't. It also looks like there might be a secondary light source on the other side of the room, so there might be light coming in from both sides. I'm not entirely sure, but what takes up the majority of this space that we definitely cannot ignore is the pool table that is covered with papers. I also love the fireplace in the corner, but having a pool table and a rocking chair and like a sitting chair around here, it kind of looks like this is also a very social space, which is cool, but not conducive to writing. Ooh, Virginia Woolf liked to have a simple desk and chair overlooking the outdoors, at least in the summer. Woolf noted that this converted tool shed was so cold in the winter that she couldn't hold a pen. That's crazy. This is so cute though. That chair does not look comfortable at all. It definitely looks like a chair that would force you to have somewhat decent posture, which is something that I'm not the absolute best at, but I love how it looks like the door has a window in it too, so there's plenty of window to be looking out. I really like this one. It also looks like the room itself might get kind of dark, but I like how she has a desk that faces the window. That's important. To be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure who Michael Pollan is, but looking at this writing space, I'm into it. It looks like it's an entire shed in like the middle of the woods devoted to writing, and I'm so here for it. I love how he has bookshelves and like an L-shaped desk, so there's plenty of space for stuff and clutter, even though I know that's not conducive to creativity and can kind of fog you up mentally. However, it does look kind of creepy, the fact that it's in like the middle of the woods and you kind of can't tell what else is around. This is definitely like a during the day type writing space. I would not be able to write in this at night. I would get way too freaked out. Okay, it does say that it is a tiny writing hut in the woods behind his Connecticut house. That is like so cool though. That is really cool. Okay, this one is honestly iconic. Danielle Steele, who it says is the author of more than 169 books. I did look it up. I think she's almost at 180. Like the more recent number that I was finding was like 179 or something, which is ridiculous. And then of course it says all of which have been bestsellers. So like, wow. But what is important to notice is the desk. I'm also not sure I could even breeze past this one without mentioning the desk because of what it is. It was designed to look like a stack of her own books. She said, I had my desk made by some artisans about 25 years ago. They chose the colors and the book titles. I love it. That is so cool. That is honestly, I know I've said it before, but iconic. Like that is so insane. She also has framed covers of her books and sayings that she loves on the walls of her office. And that is something that I would really like to do after I start publishing, is print out the covers of each of my books as they are published and hang them up on the walls around me. That would be so freaking cool. Whenever I see an author that does that, or that keeps multiple versions of their books in their office, like in different translations and everything and different reprints, I think that is so cool. The desk though, that's like so intense, and the fact that she's had that for like 25 years is honestly incredible, and I think that's so cool. I don't know if I could personally do that, but that's amazing. Tim Ferriss is included on this list, and I have read most of his book, The 4-Hour Workweek. I found it extremely interesting. However, for whatever reason, the picture was not loading, and so I went ahead and clicked on the little question mark box here, and what it took me to was his website, and what it says is my home office, more like a Zen garden with a desktop than an office. The framed quote is from the world famous cook Bobby Flay. Love it. Take risks and you'll get the playoffs. Learn from your mistakes until you succeed. It's that simple. I really like that quote. Had no idea that Bobby Flay said that. Okay, love that it looks to the outside. Love that there's plants in there and that there's sunlight. However, I don't really like that it's like not a view, but it's also kind of like a restrained nature almost, because it's more of a Zen garden, which could be far better for productivity because there's probably less distracting things that happen in it, like birds and bugs and whatnot. And it might just be like the pure, there's plants and sunlight, which I think that would be a very relaxing and far, far less distracting outside space to be looking out at. But I absolutely love how it looks like it's almost floor to ceiling windows, and not just in front of the desk, but on almost that entire wall facing the garden. I definitely approve of this one. This one's really cool. And it looks like all that he has on his desk is the quote and like a cup of pens, which very organized. I can admire that even if I can't relate most of the time. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. We have arrived at Neil Gaiman's. I was kind of wondering if he would be included on one of these lists somewhere, but it looks like he too has his own like writing space that's like outside of his house or like his normal living space, and it has a porch, which is cool. He says, I had the gazebo built about 15 years ago and go through phases of using it, and then I'll abandon it for 5 years, then rediscover it with delight. I love walking to the bottom of the garden and settling down to write. Nothing ever happens down there. I can look out the window and some wildlife will occasionally look back, but it's mostly just trees, and they are only so interesting for so long, so I can get back to writing very happily. Okay, the comment about abandoning it for like 5 years and then rediscovering it, this is something that I would want to sit in every single day. That is so cool. I also love how it kind of looks like it's either hexagonal or octagonal, and then it looks like it is pretty much a chair and a little table inside with like a couple books on it and a desk, and then there's probably, you know, a chair behind the desk and then maybe a chair outside. This is so cool. I'm very quickly coming to the realization that one of my goals for a writing space might just be having a dedicated writing space outside of my regular living space, and preferably out in nature. This one is like by far top 3 so far. Okay, so I know that I can be a little bit cluttered, or at least my desk can be a little bit cluttered when I'm writing. This though is like so much, and it kind of looks like an organized mess because of how neat all of the post-it notes are, but oh my gosh, would that stress me out. There's a very fine line with the amount of clutter that I can still be creative with and the amount of clutter that I just cannot function in. I think that this is the amount of clutter that I could not function with. Wow. I think we just need to move on from that one. I also wanted to look and see if I could find Sara J Maas's writing setup, and I was able to from 2012. This is a picture that I found on Pinterest, and then it goes into a little bit more of like detail photos from her writing space. I think this picture probably would have been from her Pennsylvania house, even though that is not where they are currently living now, but I also tried writing like Sarah J Maas, and I knew that she wrote with a mirror where she could see herself when she was writing. I did not know that the mirror was hung on her wall right behind her desk and that her computer was off to the side so that she could literally just look straight ahead and just try out different facial expressions. That's far more intense than I did it in my experiment.
I don't know if you could call it a habit so much as just a practice, but I write on a treadmill desk, so I'm always walking and typing at the same time, which isn't quite like my romanticized image of a writer with a typewriter, you know, at a dark desk somewhere. It's just me walking very slowly on a treadmill, which is a little weird.
Veronica Roth wrote Divergent and continues to write, I assume, on a treadmill desk. That's cool. I've wanted one of those for so long just because I work remotely now on my computer, and so like when I'm working I wanted to be able to be walking, and I never ended up getting one. But hearing that that's how Veronica Roth writes, that's really freaking cool. I might have to look into that again. Like a treadmill desk in front of a window, looking out on like trees, a lake, mountains, hills, whatever, having some kind of a view and being able to walk when writing, that seems really cool. This is Rick Riordan's writing desk, and oh my gosh, is it simple. That is a huge table for just a laptop and like 2 coasters. The chair looks comfortable though. We have not seen very many comfortable chairs. It looks like there might be a chair or 2 on the other side of the desk. And I am okay with the fact that there's a window to the side, because I think that that is, again, like if you're looking forward, you become very aware of when you're turning to look out the window to basically distract yourself from writing. But I really like this, and that desk is really gorgeous. And I think we're gonna end up ending on Rick Riordan's writing desk today. I know that there are obviously many more famous authors out there with very unique writing setup situations. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up and let me know down in the comments below if there is an author whose writing desk setup you want to see and have me react to, because if you guys enjoy this video, I might make a part 2. Also, feel free to let me know down in the comments below what your ideal writing space would look like. But I think that's gonna be it from me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it from me, make sure that you scroll down below, hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it, because I am currently posting videos twice a week, and so I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!